to Between a Hot Mess and a Therapist, your not so typical self-help podcast for therapists, healers, and helpers. I'm your host, Shauna Lovin, a seasoned therapist with a rebellious spirit. This season, we are redefining freedom, fulfillment, and stability without burning out, self-doubt, or playing by the rules of a broken system. We are cutting through the noise and exploring what it means to truly live life on your terms, not by what society expects of us. No more chasing an illusion of success that leaves you drained, because we are embracing the beautiful messiness, the sometimes chaotic journey we call life. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of Between a Hot Mess and a Therapist. Okay, so my daughter just had a birthday, and this is kind of where this episode comes from, and it's just some thoughts that have been coming up over the last maybe year, and now that she's officially a teenager, it's just beginning. So let's dive in. Have you ever felt like your kiddo is changing overnight and suddenly everything that you know about guiding them feels, useless? Yeah, that's me right now. And I hope it's just not just me, but you can feel that too. It's like the moment when you open the door to your kiddo's room and your brain just freezes. It's like you're standing there and expecting the usual, like, hey, mom. Instead, you get this look that says, what the fuck are you doing? Or what the fuck do you want? I'm here and I'm existing on my own terms. Try to keep up. And all of the strategies that you've been stockpiling over the years, the therapist tricks, the parenting books, the pep talks, they just evaporate into thin air and go out the window. So one day I turned into my inner monologue, and there's this running full board meeting happening. And then they're like, okay, Shauna, do you need to be in therapist mode, parent mode? Yeah, maybe, definitely. Do you need to solve something? Do you need to wait? And then when the board meeting concluded, it was welcome to 13. So here's the biology and the psychology behind it all. At around age 13, teens start testing boundaries, especially socially, emotionally, cognitively, and they're primed to assert their independence. Your rules, your expectations, your tried and true methods, they suddenly aren't enough anymore. As a parent, especially as a therapist, healer, helper, educator, someone in that space, you're trained to notice, to fix, and to guide. And now that skill set collides with a whole human who is literally rewiring their brain and their body, the frustration hits kind of hard. Why isn't my approach working? Am I failing? What am I doing wrong? Or just some of the things that you may think about. The thing is, most people describe this as a rebellion or an attitude. But really, it's just developmental necessity. They're practicing autonomy. They're learning self-regulation, which these days, most adults don't even know how to do that. So let's give them a little slack and a little grace. Your inner critic that you've had all of your life, yeah, that one's on fire because it feels like you're starting over. And let's be honest, I've had moments standing in her room thinking, why can't she just talk to me? Why can't I just fix this? And you know what? The shadow side is that parenting a teen, that's not it. Wanting control, wanting perfection, wanting to smooth out every jagged edge. For helpers, that shit gets amplified. We're wired to overfunction, overcare, and overfix. But really, we are just ghosting ourselves in that whole process. We try to show up for everyone else, but when it comes to ourselves or our own kiddos, sometimes we're scrambling, we feel uncertain, and we're reacting out of exhaustion or fear instead of presence. And we know our body don't lie. Y'all know I talk about that all the time. You'll notice it in your shoulders, your jaw, your chest, and maybe your heart speeds up when the door slams. Maybe you start to reshape conversations and rehearse those conversations that haven't even happened yet. You feel the tightness in your gut and the buzzing that kind of comes through your skin. That is just your nervous system saying, I am not safe here. I'm anticipating a threat, an overload, or some kind of disappointment. This is just the biology, honed over the years of overfunctioning and attunement, both professionally and as a parent. Your energetic blueprint, your human design, can help you notice when your nervous system has been hijacked by your inner critic or your teen storm versus when you're feeling grounded and present. And here's where most parents get stuck: the uncomfortable limbo. You've called yourself out. You know yelling and micromanaging doesn't work. You know that over explaining and over teaching isn't helping either. So, what really does help? It's getting through the process of the growing pains. We all know that kiddos grow up in the same house with the same expectation and the same experience, but yet they come out on the other end very differently. We have to be okay with how that happens and the results that we get. For me, the messy middle is showing up in her selective mutism and dyslexia journey. When she was about 2.5, we started noticing more that she kind of had maybe this speech delay, but after testing, she didn't qualify for early childhood services. So we started paying more attention to her actual behaviors and noticed how she would hide or avoid people in public, especially when people just came to close proximity, like wanting to touch her hair like she was some paper doll or something. It was kind of weird and gross too. But just after her 3rd birthday, she completely stopped talking to everyone, including me and her dad. This was like, what did I do wrong, or what can I change in the moment? And this is when she was actually diagnosed with selective mutism. For about 6 months, we didn't hear a peep out of her. As a parent, you can't help but thinking, is this all your fault? And her dad took it really hard and felt like he was damaging her. And then all of a sudden, there was like this light switch flipping on, and she started talking. Well, maybe only to people who we considered her inner circle. Just when you think things were moving in a good direction, we are back on track and making progress, COVID hit. All of that progress just gone, but it revealed something much deeper. Because of her behavior, I started to wonder, did she have Asperger's? Yeah, I'm old school and I still call it that. We know girls present very differently than boys. Maybe her lack of talking impacted her ability to comprehend, or having trouble reading was really the issue. I don't know. So about the time that she was 8, she was diagnosed with dyslexia, and then everything seemed to make sense. Her dad and I just wanted to fix it immediately. When I finally understood her journey, I changed what I was doing. Now, it looks like celebrating the small milestones, like her reading aloud for the first time without prompting, or her choosing to answer a question on her own, to talk to her friends on the phone. letting her have her personal space in her room after peopling all day, the nightly concerts that we get because she's singing her little heart out to tunes that I grew up with while she's running up all the hot damn water in the house. And maybe it's about how she has learned to reframe what it often gets a negative connotation, but has truly embraced that her brain works and processes just very differently. These moments are tiny when you think about them, but they are seismic when you look at the bigger picture. The messy middle is awkward as hell, and it's uncomfortable. It's like learning to trust that presence and patience are more powerful than control and perfection. So letting go of the control was one of the biggest shifts that I had to make. Stop trying to solve every problem, start actually witnessing and guiding and just holding space sometimes. I had to be more intentional with my presence and listening without solving or just naming the feelings when they were appropriate if she didn't have the words. Micro moments of celebration, like we had to have some quiet celebration moments because we didn't want to disrupt the progress we were making. And it was just really about recognizing the small wins in ways that felt authentic, not like this big production or just because it felt good. The last thing that I really had to do was work on the energetic boundaries and not absorbing every ounce of her frustration or anxiety. It was like just showing up fully so that I'm not getting depleted in the process. Human design framed it beautifully for me. As a projector, my role isn't to do it all. It's to guide and wait for the invitation. Parenting teens is the ultimate exercise in honoring that particular blueprint. Showing up without forcing outcomes, trusting the timing, and calibrating energy instead of exerting control. And what does all this mean in daily life? Listening without solving, celebrating the progress and not perfection, and letting your nervous system guide your response, not the habit, not out of fear, or not even through your inner critic. Ultimately, parenting a teen isn't about having all the answers. It's about showing up authentically and embracing the messy growth and then teaching them, well, at least by example, and the human imperfection, the curiosity, and the patience are very valuable lessons that we can teach our kiddos. And for the helpers like us, this practice isn't just for the kids. It helps you work with every client interaction you have, every relationship, every boundary that we navigate as humans. Your presence, your energy, and alignment ripples outward. If you want to see how your human design blueprint can help you navigate these shifts, not just with teens, not just with clients, but just life in general, download your free chart or sign up for a personal reading to go deeper. The more you know about your energetic blueprint, the more intentional your parenting and your life just becomes. I hope this was helpful. And until next time. There you have it, my friends. Another episode in the books. Remember, it's okay to be a hot mess sometimes. It's all a part of the journey we call life. Until next time, stay rebellious, stay authentic, and keep embracing the beautiful messiness of life. Want to learn more about your unique energetic blueprint? Make sure you download your free chart and learn how it can help you make choices that are aligned with who you are and not who society expects you to be. Please visit ShaunaLovinLPCS.com for more information. Anything mentioned in today's episode will be linked in the show notes. And if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe, you share with a friend, leave a review, and keep coming back for more.